The Tseshaht, or Tseshaht, are a Nuu-chah-nulth First Nation living in Barkley Sound and the Alberni Inlet. They hunted and travelled according to the seasons and animal migrations. In late winter and early spring, they went to the coast to hunt sea mammals and fish. And by August, they moved back to their sheltered wintered villages and caught salmon from the Alberni Inlet and Somas River. The core Tseshaht culture is their chronicle of creation, their spiritual origin. They were created at the Tseshaht, a place what is known today as Benson Island, one of the broken islands in the Barkley Sound. It is there they granted their first ancestors the highest spiritual responsibility, the stewardship of the broken island group. The Tseshaht translates to the people of the rancid, smelly place, because the inhabitants were such great whalers and their village reeked of whale oil, signifying their great wealth. For the next 4 to 5 days, myself, my partner, and 8 other folks were to be guests on these islands, traveling around by kayak, carrying everything that we needed to eat, sleep, and survive in the harsh conditions of the west coast of Vancouver Island with us in our tiny boats at the mercy of the ocean, the seasons, the weather, and nature, and see how this land could change and affect us as we learned its history and developed our own connection with the land, our communities, and ourselves. I'm thinking I might check in with a few of the other people on this trip and ask if they might share some thoughts and words about what they really loved and enjoyed. Leaving Ucluelet on a miserable, cold, wet, windy day, the weather forecast was not looking promising. How did we get the 1 week in summer that was absolute miserable weather? We were worried and nervous. Were we able to do this? Could we push through?
I was blown away at everyone's perseverance. Also mine. At times with the cold and the rain, I felt borderline hysterical. But there's something about the power of a group where you don't want to lose your shit and let the group down. So I was impressed that I persevered, and other people who have kayaked way less than me persevered for so long, and that we improved so much.
Oh, I want to say to the guides, I really want to highlight their role helping us frame and understand and anticipate some of what we've gone through, which is hit some highs and some lows with the weather.
Sorry. The Pacific Northwest is absolutely dreamy and wonderful, and everything looks really gorgeous and green. However, the realities are a whole day saturated, wet, in the rain, and I'm cold. The rain looks like it is easing for the evening. And hopefully tomorrow afternoon, evening will be dry. That will make the world of difference to this. It is incredible being in one of the most beautiful and amazing places and having an incredible experience and also being incredibly uncomfortable. But they say discomfort breeds character and it builds you up and it creates really core memories of amazing things. Let me just show you a bit more. Stunning. The ocean is right there where we are camped. It just looks like a storybook. Just a very, very wet one. But it's wet, and this is why it looks this beautiful. because it is this wet.
It's been great to see other people thrive and to overcome obstacles in the wilderness and the environment, and the test of the rain was a big deal for me, just seeing that I could do it myself. And
What do you want to say to the guides?
I want to say thank you so much for being these boss ass babes that just, you guys really have your shit together and know your stuff, and it's very empowering and motivating. And I love you guys, so thank you for such a great trip.
Sometimes it's the most wet places that are most beautiful.
This is so gross. He's literally sucking it dry.
I swam all the way from here. I swam all the way out to that point there, and then all the way to the spit, and that's where it finally got deep. Here I could almost stand up. There's a little rock all the way in here.
I recently got a divorce from my partner of 10 years, and it was a really rough experience. But being out on the water and realizing that there's so much more to live for, and realizing that there's so much untouched natural preserve really brought perspective to my life. It made me realize there's so much more out there for me. It was the highlight of my year.
Look at all the pretty rock patterns and the sand shells and the light patterns and the pretty sound.
So, day one, we started at Secret Beach, the most secret of secret beaches, right here. And we made our first epic crossing, figuring out our paddling strokes into the Stopper Islands. And this is Burial Island over here. And we paddled through and tucked in the lee of these islands and crossed over to Lyle Point. From Lyle Point, we made our way through the thick fog, and we found our way onto Hand Island for lunch. The light green is all intertidal, so this is where sand, beaches show up, and all that great stuff.
Experience biting bugs.
From here, after lunch, post-lunch, and if anyone has any fillers of fun things that happen along the way, please fill in. We wrapped around, we attempted to go through a passage here with the lowering tide, and we wrapped around up to Mancy Island in the Brabants, and then again through the fog, thick fog, and made our way into the aquarium. Just after the aquarium, the rain started falling, and we made our way into the back end where the fish weir is, and we could see that this smaller entrance was closed, and we made our way out through the only always open channel and paddled and saw our camp on Gibraltar. That was day one, set up. in the rain, had more pouring rain into the morning, and then off we went. Oh, we did see the humpback whale, and then in the morning we saw the sea lion coming through. So day 2, ventured up around Gilbert along this rock wall and braced into some winds, some headwinds over to Keith Island, which has the beachkeeper cabins on it, and then up through these tiny little islands around Onion. And this is where we all had giant smiles on our faces as we came through some playful, fun rocks and into a portal, into a new world of slightly calmer winds and even lighter rains. And I think the rain sort of stopped on this side all of a sudden. Made our way around, had a little pee break, came through here, actually on the side, up to Willis Island, and then we found our own private beach right over on this side. And for some of us, we stayed and we snorkeled and we relaxed and we looked at trees probably, and for some of us, we circumnavigated Dodd really slowly and played in some more rock gardens. Somewhere around here, a rudder broke, and we got to zig and zag and zig and zag and zig and zag all the way back to camp. So that was day 2. Day 3, today we came out, a little bit of wind again, did a nice crossing to a beach and found some more playful rocks. Crossed through between Lovett and Trickett and all the way over to Owen Island, wrapped around through some fun rocks, and then here we are on the west side of Clark. And now we're going to wrap around between Clark and Tseshaht, Creation Island. And I think we're going to have you guys all hop out, and we're going to take a little walk on Creation Island as well. And then from there, we might trickle back this way. And there's a lesser chance that we might go a little bit longer and go this way, back to Willis. We'll see.
Woohoo! Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Being held and supported in this experience, in community, to be in very intimate relationship with the land, especially the rain and the fog that surrounded us for over 2 days, but also to find that sense of awe and wonder and mystery. I'm really grateful for the opportunity and for the fact that this is even offered. It's such a rare and unique experience, and I think all of us need to have it, especially those who live on these lands and who are queer and who are really focused on our own healing.
A House Called Tomorrow by Alberto Rios, 1952. You are not 15 or 12 or 17, you are 100 wild centuries. And 15, bringing with you, in every breath and in every step, everyone who has come before you, all the yous that you have been, the mothers of your mother, the fathers of your father. If someone in your family tree was trouble, 100 were not. The bad do not win, not finally, no matter how loud they are. We simply would not be here if that were so. You are made fundamentally from the good. With this knowledge, you never march alone. You are the breaking news of the century. You are the good who has come forward, though through it all, even if so many days feel otherwise. But think. When you as a child learned to speak, it's not that you didn't know words, it's that from the centuries you knew so many, and it's hard to choose the words that will be your own. From those centuries, we human beings bring with us the simple solutions and songs, the river bridges and star charts and song harmonies, all in the service to a simple idea, that we can make a house called tomorrow. What we bring finally into the new day every day is ourselves, and that is all we need to start. That's everything we require to keep going. Look back only for as long as you must, then go forward into the history you will make. Be good, then better, write books, cure disease, make us proud, make yourself proud. And those who came before you, when you hear thunder, hear it as their applause.
So this is the first time I've experienced a queer space outside that felt both welcoming and inquisitive. Everyone had space to be themselves, even the guides. And that was not just unique, but also very special and sacred.
I spent an hour this morning on the last full day when it wasn't raining, drinking coffee and looking at Vancouver Island and seeing the mist move and play against these mountains in front of us right now. And it made me think about what in my life is enduring and what in my life is passing, and to feel really grateful for all the good people and good relationships and good times I'm having, and deep and enduring gratitude.
Struggling over a question, a mortality question in your mind?
Yeah, I just feel really inspired by the effort and the dedication of both Silka and Kaylee in taking care of us and in making sure we were well fed and comfortable, and also just pushing us in all of the most gentle ways to be in this experience. It's not easy and requires so much energy, and I really see all of that and really want to honor and send a lot of love and care to both of you.
Oh, it's glorious. And on that note, I have sad news. We were just coming back from our paddle on, this is day 3 of 4, and I dropped my GoPro in the ocean and it sank. So my dive, the underwater footage, I don't have any. I'm gonna try and get into the ocean again after this trip and give you some underwater footage, which I'll better do with my big long fins instead of the little short ones, but it sank. So this is not the first camera I have said goodbye to, and I have this ethos that if I lose a camera, it's because I filmed something that the spirits of the land and nature that I was in said no, and has taken back some of that magical footage, and I respect that and want to honor that land and trees and place can have boundaries too and can say no. This kayaking trip has been really beautiful and precious, and amazing pause and slow down and connection, and sometimes technology interrupts that. So I'm sorry and I'm sad, but I am also at peace with it. So I just got out of the ocean and had a little dip once we got back because we were all hot and sweaty. Trying to fend off the mosquitoes because this forest is damp. But yeah, I'm thinking I might check in with a few of the other people on this trip and ask if they might share some thoughts and words about what they really loved and enjoyed, and I'll try and film some of the kayaking tomorrow, but you will miss some of the boisterous pieces, cutting through narrow crevices and rocks and racing through rapid sections and the misty cloud mountains that just, the rain engulfed everything and went on forever. You'll have what I filmed on this camera. And I hope it still tells enough of a story that feels exciting and wonderful, and sometimes it's a reminder to get off technology and just be here and at one with nature.
Part of the joy for me is like the exploration, like seeing something new every day. And I would definitely do it again. I like being away from people. I like just being on the water and just seeing all of the wildlife and nature. Thank you so much. After you guys leading all of us, paddling all day, setting up the kitchen, and just making amazing food.
Besides just the incredible joy of paddling in the ocean between all those gorgeous islands, just like you're so close to the water in a kayak, I feel so much part of the world in those moments. I really loved like every second of the paddling, even when my body hurt and I was tired, etc. It was still so much joy.
Final day, getting ready to leave. The joy of not knowing what you're getting into. Beginner's mind. Sometimes you just take on things that you don't think you're possible of and you surprise yourself. And I'm so proud of you. In the space of 5 days? 4 days. We have gone from 10 complete strangers to sharing heartfelt moments, tears and laughter and naked swims in the ocean, exhaustion and tiredness. I feel so grateful.
I also really loved the information that we were given about the history, living history, right? Like it's still there. There's still all sorts of things to see about the indigenous history. We didn't have to kind of deal with a bunch of folks sort of inflicting normativity on us. You know, how can an army of lovers fail?
It's an eagle's nest. It's huge.
We're almost back. We freaking did it! Woo!
Thank you for dealing with us when we were grumpy or difficult. You guys rock. And please keep doing what you do because it's amazing.